Alright, there we go. Okay, so hey guys, this is Naima, and I'm basically doing a little tutorial thing, I guess you could call it right now, on my painting process and how I get things painted and completed. This is really just like jacked right now, of course, because I don't know if you know this, but I'm not the best painter, but anyway, I'll just tell you guys how I work and what my process is. Sorry, I'm just like trying to fix this line because it looks really stupid over here. This is called Naima wasn't using the shift button to draw that, and that's a stupid thing to do because the shift button makes straight lines easier and at least vertical and horizontal lines. The diagonals can go kill themselves. Anyway, so as you can see, this is my underdrawing. It's really sloppy on purpose because let me see if I can find the picture. Oh, I don't know where it is. I'll find it later, whatever. Anyway, it's kind of just the style I'm going for with like a really loose over sketch, and then I kind of am just nailing down everything when I have it more painted in. Anyway, so this is what I start out with. I just sketch out a basic thing, and then usually I'll thumbnail a lot more, but I kind of had an idea of what I wanted his room to look like after. Or this is a little boy's, monster boy's room, but I had an idea of what I wanted it to look like, even though I'm not sure what I want to go in it. Anyway, and so after that step, I can show you, comes the step where I add in color. Now this is actually a little bit more completed. I finished it beforehand because I was impatient. But usually this will start out all as one tone, so this won't have this stuff in it. What I do is I create a new layer, and then I cut out. This will be easier to see if I just, 1 second, just pretend this is all just a pretty light blue color for a second. And then see, on this layer right here, I cut it out, the where I want the shadows to be, and then I'll go through and I select the little shadow shapes, and I keep all of these shadows the same color because color theory. If your light is one color, your shadows are going to be another color. And so if you want the shadows to affect all the objects the same way, you keep your shadows the same color, and then you can adjust it to be more pretty once you have everything tied down. Anyway, so as you can see, these are all this nice purpley shadows because I want this to be a very cool picture. I don't want this to be a very warm composition. I want it to feel kind of, even though it's in a bedroom, you can see there's a bed and curtains and stuff. I want it to feel kind of a little bit dank and musty, as if a monster lives there, basically. And I mean, it's not very interesting. I can paint for a little bit. Let me just get some things set up, and I'll do that. I mean, whatever. Let's do that now, anyway. Oh, sorry, I turned off my music because I don't want this to get flagged and get in trouble. Oh, forget. Now you can't tell what I'm listening to. Alright, so basically, I can tell you some of my thought process. Light affects everything in a very predictable fashion. Rather, how shadows go. I know it seems complicated at first, especially because I've been there before, bros. But see, I have the main light source as this window right here because that's where the moonlight is going to be filtering in. And so you have to think, where is the light hitting? Light's going to be hitting here. It's going to be hitting along here. It's going to be hitting here. And it's going to be spreading out like this in a very linear fashion. Now this is of course for linear lights. It gets different once you have all those studio lighting, but that's why artists, we tend to favor direct light because it shows off the form of an object most. So let me just paint for a while. But and then there's sometimes like these areas where it's like, okay, is this really affected by shadow? And you kind of just mess. Okay, there's a very simple rule to a lot of art that people don't grasp until they become artists, which is, yes, follow the rules, but also just go with what looks best. So, like, it doesn't matter if it seems like it's wrong. Like, you should do something because it looks good as well, because you're an artist, and essentially that's what you're getting paid for. You're getting paid for making something look badass. So make it look badass. You're selling a product, you're selling a setting, you're selling your art, you're selling whatever the hell you're selling. And so don't just go like, well, the rules say that this shadow shouldn't be here because blah blah blah. You know what? Who the fuck cares? There will be some nerdy fanboys who will get on your case, but if it sells tickets, whatever. Like, I mean, Titanic the movie, Jesus Christ, that was probably filled with so many historical inaccuracies that it made people just flip their goddamn heads. But all those teenage girls don't care because it told them a story they liked. I'm gonna just ramble while I paint because this is crazy bullshit. Also, these things right here, these are masks. These are the greatest things in the world. 1 second. I'm gonna fix my masking right here, speaking of. They basically they enable you to do awesome things. Like, for example, there's this axe thing on the wall which I haven't really defined yet. But let's say I look at that axe thing and I go like, I want it to be bright pink. So what I do is I'll just select it like so. Oh, look at, and what you do is you have this new layer, right? You hit this button right here. And then, oh my god, I want it to be bright pink because it's my favorite color. And it's great because then you can be like, oh, I can color out those lines and not even worry. And I mean, you can do this with other things, but let's say like you look at it and go like, oh, that I want it to have, I don't know, stupid flower thing at the end. And then you can add on to it from that masking layer. Or, you know, if you wanted to take away something, you can do that as well. And you just click on this area right here, and the black takes away the white adds to. And this is now looking like a flamingo, so let's just get rid of it. Delete it. Alright. Oh. Everybody ignore this section. Nobody cares about aim. Okay. So, the hell was I doing? Oh yeah, I was doing the artwork. Now, sorry, I'm just looking at this and realizing I want this to work a different way than I have it working. I kind of want it to be like that, but then these go into. Okay, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna just duplicate, and then we're gonna go like. I would say to stop me if you have questions, but unfortunately you cannot stop me because this is Me and me time, bitches. Okay, and then this one, we don't. This one, this, or this, or this. And then we can just go. And yes, the noises are very much required in order to do this art well. Okay, see, now you can see there's a little light source. And, okay, let's see. I can change the color, or painter, whatever the hell you want to call it. The other important thing to remember is reference is your god. Like, this is very highly, not highly, but it is referenced. Different little areas, different objects, like, although, yes, this is out of my head, it is out of my head with help. Because nobody, I don't care who you are, I don't care if you're Glenn goddamn Keen or whoever, all those things that you're coming up with out of your head have to come from somewhere. So you can't expect to make a good picture without having a lot of reference material, if that's just looking stuff up on Google Images or having lived a lifetime and knowing a lot of things about a lot of different things, basically. So, yeah, don't bullshit out on the reference. Don't tell me you don't need. I don't need to do reference because I know what things look like. No, you don't. You just don't. You need to study the world in full. Okay, now see. This is the point where you come and you take a step back. If you're just like, I'm bullshitting this right now, you take a step back and you go like, okay, really? What the hell do I need to do? Okay. Helpful hint for this is usually the point in the picture where I do something like this, where I go like this. I create a new layer. I just fill it in with a color, whatever the goddamn fucking color I feel like doing it, and then I make it a color layer. This will help you see your that is like the ugliest color I could have picked. Like, seriously, wait, is there something adjusted in this, or is this just this color? Oh my god, that is an atrocious color. I'm gonna just make this a more pleasant color. Sorry, this is just like unacceptable. Okay, that's better. Now, if you look at this, this helps you see the tones and values and how they're working. Oh, not the the tones and values. See how they're working together. Now, as you can see, they're not really working together right now because this is all light, even though it's not in the main light source. This is very bright, even though it's nighttime. Like, this is kind of dark, even though the light should be affecting it. This area, what the hell? Why is this area so lit? Yeah. I mean, of course, there is another light source right here, but that shouldn't be affecting this entire thing, or these things, or that. So, in that case, you know what we're going to do? We're going to fix things. So, at this point, once I've done that, and I've realized that there are mistakes everywhere, what I'm going to do